Welcome back and happy Tuesday. This week is a very special week. Very rarely do I combine my personal life and my professional life. But this week we have a guest who also happens to be one of my best friends, as in bridesmaid in my wedding, in Talice Sagerer, who is sustainable finance consultant. It's a big title, so here you go. At the UN Global Compact CFO Task Force. So Talice, my dear, so nice to do something like this where our professional and personal worlds are colliding.
Yes, Scar, thanks for having me. Good to see you as always. I'm happy to be here. Pleasure to be on Tech Tuesday. I've been keeping up with you and your work, and it's been amazing. So
Oh,
thanks for
well,
having me.
thank you, my dear. So, as you know, I mean, we've talked about this offline for a long period of time, but I would just love to hear if you could just share with the audience. We're talking about sustainable finance. That's the topic of this week. So, why are you so passionate about sustainable finance, and what is it about it that just draws you?
Well, okay, where do I start? There's so much to say about that. Well, I'm passionate about sustainable finance because I believe that it creates a unique opportunity for businesses to do, not continue doing business as usual, basically, as we're seeing with more recent disasters and climate change, et cetera, et cetera. We can't continue to go down the path that we've always been. So sustainable finance helps CFOs, who are the stewards of $14 trillion in annual investment globally. It helps them channel that investment towards the SDGs, which are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And obviously, climate change is one of those goals. That's goal number 13. It's probably the most important goal right now, but nonetheless, it's one of the 17 goals. And I believe that using sustainable finance as a vehicle, we can start to channel more investment towards those SDGs.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. From my lens and where I've sat over the last half decade plus within financial services, there's more and more of a trend of this, ESG and beyond, where at conferences you go to, even, Money 2020, that is a front and center thing for us, is thinking about that sustainable component of finance, because there's all these great new technologies, there are new currencies, there's new this or that, but like, what impact does that have on the world more broadly? So when you, in your lens that you're sitting at now, and the work that you're doing with the UN, where are we at? What are you seeing from your lens now? Where are we at as an industry, and where do we have to go from here?
Well, the sustainable finance market is still pretty, underdeveloped, and it's slowly maturing. More and more people are getting on board. Consumers are becoming more conscious, and they're asking more of companies they're asking us to do more for the environment. So I see this as the new norm. I think all businesses are going to get on board eventually, because people won't continue to work with, buy from, or engage with companies that aren't environmentally conscious anymore. And we all need to do our part. We have one planet. We don't have a planet B. So we need to do our best to just make a just transition so that everyone can benefit.
Yeah, I think that's like absolutely right, in the sense of people, everyday individuals, whether, you're hiring new people to join your team, they're looking for, are you a company that supports these goals? What are you doing in that way? If you're a consumer, you have two brands, similar price point, or maybe even one that has a higher price point, but that one is contributing to making the world a better place. People are making decisions with their minds that go into their wallets. So I think you're absolutely right there. So last thing, Talise, because obviously you're looking a lot at this global perspective, and now how technology impacts this. You and I have caught up offline a few different times around carbon capture. So can you just talk to me a little bit more about where we're at with that?
Well, that's one of the things that I'm excited about for 2021, because we are now realizing that just lowering our GHG emissions might not be enough to help us meet our goal. And we are realizing that direct carbon capture is something that we need to focus on more, to just pull GHG emissions out of the atmosphere. And things like carbon capture and storage are exciting because it helps us in an enormous way that we can't just by electrifying cars and planting trees. This actually pulls the CO2 out of the environment, and it stores it, and it pipes it into another location where it can be reused for other products, such as hydrogen vehicles and hydrogen cells to power cars and cargo ships, etc. So it's an exciting technology, I think, because it creates a real opportunity for us to, pull CO2 out of the environment and make profit off of that, which is exciting for any company taking part in that new technology.
Yeah, the combination of making the world a better place and making money is like the combination of capitalism plus, the sustainable future. So there you go. Awesome, Talise. Well, there is so much more to be told to this story. Like you said, we are slowly progressing. We're getting there. I know you and I both feel like the more focus, the more eyeballs, the more dollars that go to this, the better off we will all be. So for all of you, thank you so much for your time. For all of you, you can read Talice's full Q&A below. She goes into much more detail around what we need to do in the future, where we're at, and there are some links for you to get involved if you would so choose within the UN task force. So with that, until next week, have a great week, and we will see you later.
All right. Bye. Thanks, everyone.